Wait, why can't the protesters want to protect themselves and their families? You're a public servant, dog. You don't get to hide when you're engaging in illegal actions. There are no both sides. Protesters should be allowed to wear masks, and federal government agents should not be. All right.
Protests against federal immigration raids have gone into their 5th day. Trump administration is sending 700 Marines to the city.
And President Trump ordered the deployment of 2,000 more California National Guard troops, making 4,000 over the objections of Governor Gavin Newsom, who was challenging the action in court. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene for us there in L.A.
We saw him. We saw him yesterday. The sexy man, sexy war correspondent man with the sexy hair. He was there. He was. Let's see what beautiful, sexy things he has to say. Niye? Problem yok. He was there being sexy. It seems like his job. He was really nice to you. No. That's different. That's a different sexy man. No. That's what's his name? Ghazi? No, you're thinking of the NBC guy. The NBC guy is actually dope. He's had me on a show a bunch of times to talk about Israel stuff. This is the other guy. This is the war correspondent. Is it Gotti? Stop saying Benghazi. Shut up. Gotti Schwartz. Yeah, he's cool. He's chill. Gotti is actually dope. He's cool. This guy's a different guy. He was just being sexy and talking about the dangers of burning Waymos or whatever.
Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Robin. It is entirely possible that by the end of today, we will see nearly 5,000 combined California National Guard and Marines deployed here in Southern California. The question is, where will they be housed? Where will they be sent? As you mentioned, California Governor Gavin Newsom insisting they are not needed here. And last night, we were out here just outside this federal complex watching an overwhelming number of local law enforcement break up protests of about several hundred people here much more quickly than they had in previous nights. Overnight, hundreds of police in riot gear facing down protesters for a 4th consecutive night of clashes. The administration now making the unprecedented move of dispatching 700 active duty Marines to the streets of Los Angeles and increasing the California National Guard presence to over 4,000. Throughout much of the day, a quiet tension had settled over the city. That didn't stop the administration from bypassing the governor, who said he did not ask for this support and doesn't want it.
You can see how much smoke is being deployed on the other side by the LAPD. That is, these officers are moving people away from the federal building. You can see federal law enforcement there in California National Guard, and there's skirmishes right up and down this street with law enforcement.
This protester, Addie, says she's been out on the protest lines for 4
I want to show you guys something, by the way. Right there, we're over here. We were making our way to the press box that was up there on the other side, okay? And then they came in and they started, deploying tear gas and munitions from above. The federal police started deploying munitions from above at the top of the building, the top of the federal building. And the cops they started just going crazy. That's that funny footage of Hutch being like, oh, this guy, why is he lying about, like, the cops being violent when they're clearly not. Okay, maybe because I'm there and I've seen them do it to me and other people. But one of the unique things that I saw during this push was a dude in plain clothes that I thought was an agitator potentially. Like, I thought was a protester with a fire extinguisher, because in the chaos I didn't fully recognize what was going on. Only later did I realize he was actually tear gassing us, or no, he was using bear mace on us. He looked like a protester. He was in plain clothes, and he ran underneath. He ran up from behind the press pool, okay, right here, and ran underneath and started bear macing the press that was trying to run away from the explosive ordnance. Think about how insane that is. Like, that's local law enforcement. Damn. Oh. All right. Excuse me.
pool. Oh yeah, they completely just cleared the press pool.
Did they just clear the press pool?
Yep.
Oh shit, Japanese TV.
That's insane.
Come on, man.
Oh shit.
They're shooting at the...
How do we know it was a top and not a counter protester? Because they had a state-issued bear mace. You can't get that. And also, why the fuck would they a protester, why would they actually tear gas the press or bear mace the press?
They're at the bridge right now and all around us.
He was right down there while we were passing by, or after we passed by. I watched him from afar, like basically down there, okay? Run up and then mace the entire area and all the people that were running away.
They're at the bridge right now and all around us.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What do you mean play stupid games, win stupid prizes? Like, what, do you think it's better to not actually film this stuff? Like, even if you're not on board with the protest, like, why the fuck do you think it's appropriate to blast the goddamn press, dumbass? What? Cool.
They're dispersing the crowd.
Law enforcement. Protester Addie says she's been out on the protest.
Play stupid games, exercising your First Amendment rights, win stupid prizes, have the state beat you up and brutalize you.
For 4 consecutive days now.
Why is this personal for you?
It's personal for me. I was undocumented once. I came to this country when I was 5 years old. I've lived here without an identity until I was 20 years old. Thanks to my mother, thanks to my grandmother, who came here and led the way, I've been able to have a successful career.
And overnight, California Governor Gavin Newsom mocking the deployments.
The absurdity of this cannot be understated. There were 2,000 National Guard that were, quote unquote, deployed, of which only 315 actually were mission assigned. 1,700 have no particular role or responsibility.
Embattled LA Mayor Karen Bass warning that Trump might be using LA as a trial run for other cities.
A test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government. I don't think that our city should be used for an experiment. Well, maybe we can do this to other cities.
Earlier in the day, the president suggesting that Newsom should be happy he sent in the military, that Southern California was a, quote, mess. He even suggested it might be a good idea if his border czar, Tom Homan, arrested the California governor.
I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great.
When asked by our Karen Travers what crime Newsom has committed to warrant arrest, the president responding,
I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job.
Newsom in a post on X writing, Donald Trump admits he will arrest a sitting governor simply because he ran for office. I asked border czar Tom Homan about the feud.
This morning, the president said arresting Gavin Newsom is a great idea.
The governor's backing me.
That's what you should be doing.
The president's backing me up. If you violate the law, and he knows better than anybody. He's the president of the United States, and they arrested him.
Homan overseeing part of the federal response on the ground from Los Angeles. The administration recently slamming protesters for concealing their faces with masks. Critics arguing ICE agents have been concealing their identities using face coverings and unmarked vans.
Why don't you ask me why the protesters are wearing masks? Why are they wearing masks? To hide their identities because they don't want to go to jail.
Correct.
But
they're protesters and not employees of the federal government.
Our officers are wearing masks to protect themselves and their families.
Now, wait, why can't the protesters want to protect themselves and their families? You're a public servant, dog. You don't get to hide when you're engaging in illegal actions. There are no both sides. Protesters should be allowed to wear masks, and federal government agents should not be. I don't even believe in the both sides get to wear masks argument. You're a public servant. What do you mean? Like, I'm paying your salary. If you're gonna tear gas me, I might as well see your face while you're doing it. You know.
Now, Homan also telling me that those ICE raids and arrests will continue night after night here in Los Angeles and elsewhere in the country, and that likely means more protests. And I wanted to give folks at home a sense of what we talk about when we speak of these non-lethal or less lethal rounds. This is one of those spongy rounds that's typically fired on the ground. It sprays out at the legs of protesters. This is a 40-millimeter rubber-tipped round. Now, these are designed to hurt, but they're not designed to maim or to protesters. George.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much.
We're going to begin in Los Angeles, where the president is doubling the number of National Guard troops being deployed to those immigration protests and adding 700 Marines.
Thank God he said that, because where is the clip? Dumbass. I can't believe Aaron Burnett actually literally said these were actually tossed by protesters at the media.
What people in the crowd have been firing at the ground. Those caused some of the explosions.
What?
Like a foam thing. You can smell the explosive on it. That causes the police to immediately respond.
That is just made, like, she's literally lying. That is the shell of the 40 millimeter rounds that they're firing into the fucking crowds. It is insane. Ironically enough, the fucking very same people that she's defending here ended up detaining another CNN journalist later that night. Once again, the media is so predisposed with defending the police that if she was fired upon by those things that she's pointing to, that means the cops fired it at her. But she can't say that, because in her mind, it's like, no, the police are good here. Their presence are good. They're a force for good. So even when she's being fired upon by the cops, she's like, yeah, these other protesters have been doing it. Clinton News Network, dude. CNN, fake news, CNN, lying again. Bro, what's actually wild about this shit isn't even the fact that, like, she's lying at the behest of the cops, but she's also dropped even self-preservation at this point. Like, she's not saying don't believe your lying eyes. She's saying don't believe my lying eyes.
What? Charge. And we've seen a lot of people fall. We actually, our shot was down for a couple minutes here because we were running a little bit out of breath. Just because you have to get away from them. They just start running.
What are those?
Start firing a lot.
Wait, does anybody know what those are?
Yeah, and there was an arrest back there that now I can't see. But when there was a
I'm going to give you another second.
The protester were.
I'm going to give you another second to catch your breath. Stay with us. But
what are those?
A second to catch your breath. John Miller.
Those are foam ammunition.
Dusk.
Somebody has to know what they actually are, though.
This is often.
They're 40 millimeter rubber rounds. The blue one, but what are the smaller ones? I think it's just like the bottom of that thing.
It is the bottom. I think it's fucking crazy. I can't believe she said that. I cannot believe she said that. Yeah, I watched the LAPD shoot these directly at the protesters and saw multiple protesters wounded by them. They were shooting rubber bullets at the police. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pop you right now because you're taking up my focus. That's okay. I'm gonna pop you right now because you're taking up my focus.
This psycho shot me in the groin twice with 40 millimeter munitions because I asked for his name, which was ripped off his helmet after he shot others in the groin at close range too. Watch him tell me he's gonna shoot me for asking who he is.
That's okay. I'm gonna pop you right now because you're taking up my focus.
Hey man, just like Israel, he told you ahead of time though. Multiple foam baton round is most widely used by crowd management tool where standoff distances are limited. It may also prove valuable in riot situations. You would not be able to purchase this if you don't have law enforcement, if you don't have like a Leo certification, for the record. The idea that, like, also you have to deploy these from a fucking weapon again. Like the notion that they're like actually fucking using these and the grenade launchers, like the protesters are using these and the grenade launchers, is pure and utter fantasy. Next level, dude. Next fucking level. No, I have them. I have them back here. I picked them up off the ground after getting fucking shot with them. Shot at with them. Larger amounts of America First counter protesters today on megaphones shouting slurs at demonstrators currently on the AP live feed. Yeah, those pussies were inevitably going to come to the protest because, and now the protests take on a totally new level of danger. I was watching you and some other news sources at the same time yesterday, literally as you and others were being shot at in the crowd. The other news sources saying the troops are pushing forward so far. No shots have been fired at the exact same time that you were getting shot at. Yeah. Here, this is the CNN reporter that they fucking detained.
CNN? It's time to escalate.
Wait 1 second, John. Hold on. I want to. Jason, what's going on? I hear you. Am I seeing Jason Carroll being unnamed? What happened, Jason?
I am being detained. I am being detained, Laura. I'm not being arrested. Correct, officers?
Did you hear what he told you?
No.
We're letting you go, but you can't come back.
Okay.
Because then if you come back, then you go. We're good right now.
Okay.
Okay, please? All right, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, officer.
Take care. You too. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
What happened, Jason?
If you guys can still hear me, what happened was, I was, yes.
I'm Chris with the New York Times. We got video of you guys.
Oh, you did?
If you need it later,
thank you.
call New York Times.
I appreciate that.
I can hear you still, Jason. What's happening?
So here's what happened, Laura. The officer, I was called over, and the officer told me to put my hands behind my back. I said, am I being arrested? He said, you were being detained. I was walked out of the area. They took down my information.
Oh, I'm losing his IFB right now. I can't hear you, Jason. Wait, John Miller.
Bro's thanking the officer for fucking almost arresting him. Thank you for detaining me, officer. You're so brave.
There's been a fourth night of protest over the deportation sweeps by federal agents. Yesterday, rallies were mostly peaceful after outbreaks of violence over the weekend. And the war of words between California's Governor Gavin Newsom and President Trump, well, that is heating up big time, with Newsom accusing the president of disrespecting the troops. Jonathan Bigliotti is in downtown L.A. with the latest. Jonathan, people very worried about what we're seeing in L.A. these days. Good morning to you. What can you tell us?
They are, and good morning to you, Gail. 4,000 National Guard members. That's more personnel than protesters we've seen on the streets. The governor yesterday tweeting out saying that they were deployed in haste with a photo showing the conditions inside the facility behind me. You can see the members there on the floor, their accommodations lacking very much so in that case. Meanwhile, yesterday, protests were largely peaceful. The LAPD having control until the evening.
I think we are too. A lot of people are throwing bricks. I think we're moving into a very dangerous place. I think we are too. And I think that's the place we need to be in. I think that people should know that this is extremely dangerous, and they should be afraid to be in these crowds of people that are violent and that are attacking police officers. I want them to be afraid. That's the goal. A lot of people are throwing bricks. I think we're moving into a very dangerous place. I think we are too. And I think that's the place we need to be in. I think that people should know.
Based. How can someone be such a ginormous pussy while also simultaneously try to present themselves as this like mighty force to be reckoned with at the same time? Well, maybe they behave this way, and that's the reason why they're right-wingers, where it's like they don't have that kind of power and motion. They don't have that. They don't have the power to do anything. They're utterly powerless. So they just hopefully latch on to state power and state enforcement. Please keep being insanely fucking violent. Yeah, you hear that they broke the window of the car.
Look at that motherfucker.
It's a little treat, dude. Yeah, they were handing out. Is socialism or barbarism? Thank you for the 20 gifted subs. They were handing out people. They were handing out water bottles to people. Oh, here's the other one. This is no, not this one. No. Do you guys have the video of the cop breaking his own cruiser's? Yeah. I think they just want a new cruiser. You know what I mean? I think they just wanted a new cruiser. It's like old, or maybe it's because they want to break the window so they can drive it later. I don't know. It's most likely because it's already broken, so they want to see through the window if they can even drive it. But it is pretty funny. Or they could have just been like, oops, this cruiser broke. Guess I got to get a new one. You know, I can see that.
Picked up about 50 people, according to police, were arrested.
Overnight, police clashed with pockets of protesters in downtown LA, some throwing flares and fireworks as officers moved to break up the crowds. Nearby, this car caught fire. Earlier, groups of demonstrators faced off against National Guard troops protecting the federal building downtown.
This is really a remarkable scene here in downtown LA. You have the LAPD out in a show of force. They're trying to squeeze the protesters out of the heart of the city ahead of nightfall.
And amid the tensions between protesters and local law enforcement, 700 Marines are expected in the city, along with the 4,000 National Guard troops deployed by President Trump.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination
creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
Yep, they broke the windows because the windows are already smashed. They had to drive away. I know. I know. I said that. What the fuck? Anyway, there was more that I want to talk about. Oh, another one of these moments that I think is like really stupid is when the media's like, they're throwing fireworks in the direction of cops. It's like, bro, they're throwing fireworks in the direction of cops. What are the cops throwing? The cops literally have all the gear. If you think protesters throwing fireworks is a scary situation, what do you have to say about chemical weapons that they're using? Like, they were using chemical weapons on not that large of a crowd to begin with, like with regular frequency. So please, for the love of God, have a little bit of parity here, even though there should be no parity, because there's no parity between a crowd of protesters and the militant police, like the heavily militarized police force. It's so strange.
Around the country, demonstrators are showing up in solidarity to protest the federal immigration crackdown. As immigration sweeps take place in communities across Los Angeles, federal agents are seen targeting schools and businesses. And heartbreaking videos surfacing like this one.
Yeah, famously where the crime manifests, you know, schools and businesses. When I'm trying to find like rapist criminal migrants that I've fantasized about, I think of the normal places that migrants exist, you know, schools and businesses.
Appearing to show a father being detained and taken by agents in front of his family at this Culver City car wash over the weekend.
How did we get from gang members to Home Depot?
LA Mayor Karen Bass spoke to CBS Evening News anchor Maurice Dubois on Monday.
And what's your message to the immigrants who live here who aren't documented?
This is a city of immigrants. This is a city that wants to help you get your legal status. This is a city that embraces everybody that is here, regardless of when you got here or where you came from.
And while the president has described conditions here in Los Angeles as dire, the mayor and the governor saying that does not match the reality here on the streets. Meanwhile, the state's top general is saying troops will likely remain here for at least 2 months, Nate.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. And we will have more of that interview with Maurice Dubois and the mayor, Karen Bass, in our next hour.
The pop of flashbangs is the soundtrack of these protests. The
like,
drawing
look at this, like point blank, bro. Fucking assholes.
Of weapons sending demonstrators scattering down city streets.
He got shot! He got shot!
Some not able to get away fast enough. Los Angeles is on edge. This part of downtown in the grips of a military operation, the centre of a political standoff.
This is one of the main government buildings in downtown LA. Earlier on, it was being guarded by police and sheriff's deputies. Then the National Guard moved in, and the real anger is being directed towards them because these people, the protesters who are filling this plaza, believe that troops have no place on the streets of LA.
National Guard out of LA!
But the president sent them anyway, he says, to restore law and order. Now he's preparing to bring in 700 Marines too. California Governor Gavin Newsom posted these pictures of soldiers sent here now sleeping on the floor, calling them pawns in Trump's political game playing. The LA mayor agrees.
We didn't need the National Guard. Why on earth? What are they going to do? Do you know what the National Guard is doing now? They are guarding 2 buildings. So they need Marines on top of it? I don't understand.
Yeah, the real reason why they're bringing this in, by the way, here's the rub. I'm going to tell you in a second. Hold on. What's taking place right now in Los Angeles is not about the fucking protests. Okay? There's a couple different reasons why they're doing this. Number one, obviously they want to invoke some kind of response and use Los Angeles, a obvious blue city, deep blue city, as a testing ground for implementing authoritarian principles. They are testing the reaction from the public and then using the public reaction that they created after some of these ICE raids were conducted to create just cause for military intervention. But the actual additional reason for military deployment here is not because of the protests. Everybody understands that, I hope. I hope you understand that as well. They don't want to get the Marines to shoot Los Angelinos yet. What they want to do, however, is offer military support to federal agencies like ICE when they are conducting the raids, because they know that right now everyone is on high alert. Everyone's on high alert. So if ICE were to conduct like a massive dragnet campaign like they did at the inception point of this kind of resistance, they would be met with tremendous response from the community. Okay? People would show up in massive numbers, and ICE would perhaps not be able to successfully conduct said raid. They don't have enough manpower, and they're pussies. So what they want to do is use the military to defend ICE. Use the federalized National Guard to defend ICE as they are conducting those operations. Because within the confines, within the legal confines of LBJ deploying the National Guard to defend the protesters, I believe there were still federal envoys in those protests as well, right? Federal government officials in those protests as well. So there was just cause for the state National Guard to be deployed and become federalized, just like those federal agents, like ICE agents, are still federal agents. What is happening? Is there actually a big F? What's going on? Those dipshits are sleeping on concrete for $30K a year while the pigs next to them are sleeping cozy with their fat union checks and pensions. I'll be so salty about being there. Yeah, but that salt actually reflects a more militant response, I think. That's what I was joking about yesterday when I was like, these guys seem really angry, and that's probably because they don't get a fucking good night's sleep because they're sleeping on concrete, you know? Anyway, let's keep going with Karen.
That's why I feel like we are part of an experiment.
In some pockets, police outnumbered the public.
Crowd control explosions are being deployed from the rooftops of the federal buildings surrounding this plaza, a bid by law enforcement to disperse some of the protesters here.
Many of those gathering are first and second generation immigrants. They're furious about raids that took place in LA last week. Dozens of immigrants were rounded up in the garment district, an area packed with clothing wholesalers. Brianna's dad was among them. He'd lived here illegally for over 10 years.
My father got deported 2 days ago. Unfortunately, he wasn't here to celebrate my birthday. So I'm here protesting for him and two of my uncles that were deported. So I stand here today for my family to get free and get freedom for everyone else who was affected.
Everyone says LA is an immigrant city, and it is. You go to Chinese restaurants, they have Hispanic workers in the back. You know, you go to the clothing companies, they have Hispanics working. Like, this is our city, and we have to stand here and defend it.
As dusk fell, the crowds thinned. Demonstrators backed into a corner of downtown LA known as Little Tokyo. A city known for its sporting prowess, for multiculturalism and a long history of resistance movements. This is now
Not my little Tokyo.
Martha Kellner, Sky News, Los Angeles.
Does this make us look good internationally? Fuck no.
As anti-ICE demonstrations in Los Angeles, fourth day in a row on Monday, the Wall Street Journal was on the ground. The day started with thousands of people gathered at a rally in downtown LA.
We're out here at Grand Park. This is the demonstration for David Huerta, the union president for the SEIU union, which represents the service employees of the California chapter. The plan here is to demonstrate, followed by a march down to the courthouse where Huerta is due in court.
When I say free David, you say now. Free David! Free David! Free David!
If you are in any way involved with the local government up to the state level scene, you know exactly who David Huerta is. He has brought a lot of dignity and a lot of story to the workers that take on those jobs that nobody else wants to do, such as janitorial and custodian.
Huerta was arrested on Friday while protesting an ICE raid. He was charged with conspiracy to impede an officer.
When I say freedom, you say now! Freedom! Yeah! Freedom! Yeah!
What you see out here today in Los Angeles is working people coming together to obviously say free David Huerta and end the raids now. But I also think what you see is working people coming together to declare this is our city, our community, our country, and we are not going to be terrorized. We're going to stand up and we're going to push back and we're going to speak out. We are gathering peaceably with joy and solidarity, and I'm incredibly proud to be here today.
We are the union! We are the union! The mighty, mighty union! Mighty, mighty union!
I'm here to show that you can be a liberal and you can be a patriot, that you can be pro-immigrant and be pro-American.
Who's got the power? We got the power!
I'm frustrated with the local and state response because I feel like this has been politicized, not just by Trump and his administration, but also by Democrats. The fact that Democrats are telling us and tweeting, this is what Trump's doing, as if we don't know. My question in return is, what are you doing?
Great
Tell
take.
us what you're going to be actively doing to
Hell
protect
yeah.
us.
Huerta appeared in court where he was released from federal custody on a $50,000 bond and told to surrender his passport. The U.S. military announced that roughly 700 Marines were being mobilized to Los Angeles, the first time in more than 3 decades that Marines have been sent into a U.S. city to address civil unrest. Trump administration officials say the move is to protect federal workers and buildings. California Governor Newsom called the move a blatant abuse of power in a post on X. As the day went on, tensions between the protesters and law enforcement, including the National Guard, began to escalate.
We are here on the corner of Los Angeles and Temple Street, what is now the heart of the protest today. And we had an hours-long standoff between protesters, the National Guard, and the sheriffs in front of this federal building here. The protest at this moment has significantly ramped up over the last 20 minutes or so. It follows, a day of much calmer protests than yesterday. Certainly you can hear those flash grenades. The National Guard and Sheriff's Office pushing this way.
The Trump administration announced it would be sending an additional 2,000 National Guard members to Los Angeles. Protests are expected to continue this week.
Thieves are exploiting the state of unrest to vandalize and loot downtown LA businesses.
Let's go to Gigi Garcia live downtown where numerous businesses have been hit. Gigi.
You know, Bob and Brooke, earlier we were at the Apple store. We were at the Adidas store. Both.
Here we are. Here it is. There it is, dude. Ah, the vicious loading.
Both of them looted the glass.
Fuck the local news, man. I fucking hate local news. Yo, even my boy, Alex, has been going crazy mode, okay?
Shattered, a lot of things stolen. And they're big companies. They'll take a hit. But it is the small, the mom and pop businesses that have also been looted that are heartbreaking. Joining me now live, Nimat, his daughter Sheila. They've been in the jewelry business, Nathan's Jewelers, since 1987 here on South Hill. And we're going to show you the shattered glass in just a moment. Nimat, I mean, you have tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
Of what they've done to your business.
What they done to my business? I don't know. I have to go inside. I don't know what they done to business.
Right, but you were telling me that why take out whatever issues people have on you, a small business owner?
Not only me. There's a lot of people. There is so many people.
How does this affect you?
Very bad. It 1 week is a riot and people of the transgender or other things, and they close the business and nobody can come inside. Another day something else. Another day something else. Why they bring them to downtown? Why these people come to downtown? They go to somewhere out of the city limits, and they scream at what they want to do. Why they come here?
And why did they affect a small business owner? Sheila, your dad worked so hard, and he was telling me, and he had tears in his eyes earlier, that, you know, the store now, you still have to see the damage done inside. This is a jewelry mart. And we also have video of other stores that were looted overnight. There were reports, Sheila, of up to 100 looters at a time at a jewelry business.
Crazy. Very crazy, very sad, very terrible.
And your dad works really hard. I'm sure you work really hard too. This is a small family-owned business, and there's no insurance.
No.
Bro, they are literally, the media are such fucking sharks. I swear to God. Look, obviously, this kind of shit is completely fucking unacceptable. Okay? There are opportunists around that take advantage of like the destabilization that's taking place. Wait, they said trans looters? What?
Other things, and they close that it is 1 week is a riot, and the people of the transgender or other things, and they close the business, and nobody can come inside. Another day, something else. Another day, something else. Why they bring them to downtown? Why these people come to downtown? They go to somewhere out of the city limits, and they scream at what they want to do. Why they come here?
And why did they affect a small business owner? Sheila, your dad worked so hard, and he was telling me, and he had tears in his eyes earlier, that, you know, the store now,
I mean this in the nicest way possible because I don't believe in a mandate to speak English in America, but I feel the conservatives would think this guy needs to be deported too. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Still have to see the damage done inside. This is a jewelry.
The conservatives would then also simultaneously point to how he's transphobic as a reason for why he must be deported. Because remember, conservatives hate when like brown people exhibit the same conservatism. This lady is such a fucking vicious little shark here, okay? You hate them, right? You hate the protesters, right? I mean, what is this doing, right? It's actually, it's illegals, right? Or it's transgenders. Wow, it's transgender illegals, actually. They're just angry that they're not getting bottom surgery after coming here from Guatemala to invade. What? Back on Fig, shouted out your stream. Smack and Ben spotted in the field. Hasan Piker stream, 80K in the chat. What's back on Fig? Put your hand over the opening to see if you can breathe. What is back on Fig? Figmunity World? They're calling you Princess Diana now?
Love watching videos of Hasan Piker going to protest because that dude's literally the people's princess. He's shaking hands, taking selfies. People are like, man, dude, I used to watch you, but now you're my hero. Thanks for being here. He's so pure.
Yeah, I mean, let's not make me the focus of the story, though. You know, what's important is that people are going out there and protesting. And, you know, that's what's important. But thank you for saying I'm the people's princess. I'll take it.
Videos of Hasan.
It's a honor that I will carry with me. They left Adam the 16 or 22. Okay. The dudes that left the Adam 22 podcast, they also saw you with the inmates combating the fires. Have you seen this one yet? What is this?
That's Hasan Piker, girl. That's my man.
Yes.
Period. Oh, not you, girl. He like the twinks.
Except Marge is like a twink.
He got a fucking
Period. God damn, he is big in person, girl.
Look at them boots, honey.
Girl, that ass.
Top or bottom, you think?
Girl.
Top or bottom?
Hasan Pike me.
As if it's here. Hasan Pike this ass, honey. His ass, honey.
Hasan Piker. And you know what? He probably want a matcha.
I know. He just want a little something. Period.
He out here trying to get his little sticky.
Oh, were those the guys that were yelling at us? We couldn't tell what was going on. March and I were like, are they yelling at us? Hasan, Pike me. Also, why do you walk like that? Dude, honestly, I get a little self-conscious about this, but I think it's because I have a ginormous ass. Like, I used to be really insecure about how big my ass is. Like, it is crazy. We thought they were haters. They just wanted to fuck you. Yeah, I didn't realize. But
period.
Like, it looks weird. It looks weird because my proportions are weird. And the reason for why my proportions are weird is because, again, I have an insane ass. And it looks crazy. It looks bulbous.
God damn, he is big in person.
Like, I got a thing around my waist. I got my hoodie wrapped around my waist. and you can still see the dumpy shake and quake while I'm crossing the fucking street. Look at this.
Look at them boots, honey. Girl, that ass.
Like I'm twerking and I got pants on and I got a hoodie wrapped around my booty cheeks and you can still see the shit quake. The self-graze is crazy. No, I'm insecure about it. I'm insecure about my ginormous ass. Like it's not even, I'm not.
Girl.
Showed up to throw ass protest. We're about out of protest, girl. What were you talking about? Not making it about you? Okay, man, we can have a little bit of fucking fun in the process. You know what I mean? We're memeing, you know, after this, what? Uh-oh. There's a little bit of baby F. Calm down. Calm down. It's back. A little bit of frame drop. Everybody fucking acts like, dude, frame drops, drop top, okay, for 2.5 seconds. And chatters act like is a hard cut. Chatters act as though it's over. You know what I mean? It's like the stream ended, an EMP was dropped. The Marines are outside of the door. They're knocking. They're going to fucking invade my house. Yeah, huge F. Unwatchable. Half the time while people are spamming F, like by the time they get to pressing enter on that F spam, the F is over.
At a jewelry business.
Crazy. Very crazy, very sad, very terrible.
And your dad works really hard. I'm sure you work really hard
Planned
too.
attack.
This is a small family-owned business, and there's no insurance.
No.
How is this going to affect your family?
Really bad. Really bad. People are stupid. What can you do?
And why target you? You have nothing to do with any of this.
I know. I don't know why.
I'm sorry, Sheila. I'm sorry, Nimat. I hope the damage isn't too bad inside.
We live in San Bernardino, Chino Hills. It's far away to come in here. And we are scared to drive the car, comes in here, they damage the car. We took the bus at 2 o'clock and we came right now in here.
I hope the damage isn't too bad. Your business was one of many businesses that were looted overnight.
But I don't sell jewelry. I sell like custom jewelry, silver. You know, I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big fish.
You're not a big fish. Well, that's why it hurts even more, because you're not a big fish. You're not Apple. You're not Adidas.
Right.
And they're going to take a loss, too. I'm so sorry for this. Multiple businesses. There were many arrests made.
The irony, of course, is that if that dude is undocumented and the government comes in the middle of the fucking workday and storms his fucking and black bags him and ships his ass to CCOT, this woman's going to sit there and be like, well, another day where law and order is restored. And that's my fucking point. Like, you can't, like, this is unacceptable, certainly. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, brave theft has been happening. Revolutionary theft is occurring here. Okay. Like, I don't give a fuck about Adidas's bottom line or whatever. But ultimately, obviously, there's going to be opportunists. Okay. Like, there's going to be opportunities. These aren't fucking protesters. There's people. I mean, there was a dude who stole a bag in front of us. There was I assume he was like a rival skater. He walked up to a bunch of skaters and just ripped his bag and just dipped. Okay. It happened in front of us. It happened on camera. And like, does that mean that the protest is now bedlam? Like, that's what the protesters are there for, to fucking steal shit from other protesters? No, of course not. Also, there is perhaps no better example that increased militarized police presence does not stop crime. If anything, makes more chaos and makes more crime than this. There is like 10,000 fucking cops for like 400 protesters. And it turns out that didn't stop people from going in and breaking storefronts. I thought the increased police presence was supposed to create order. How'd that happen? I'm shocked. Let me tell you how surprised I am.
And we're waiting to get those numbers from the LAPD. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Gigi.